Pentagon loses $6 trillion. But good news, we still have enough to send a plane load of cash to Iran. And a young married couple in Phoenix busted for playing Pokemon Go. This is SkyWatch TV for Wednesday, August 3rd, 2016. I'm Derek Gilbert. First up, an after-school Satan club could be coming to an elementary school near you. Watch this. This is the latest public relations move by the Satanic Temple intended to force Christianity out of the public square by using the freedom of religion guaranteed by the Constitution as a weapon. Now, the irony is that, according to people who know him, the Satanic Temple's spokesperson and co-founder Doug Mesner, a.k.a. Lucien Greaves, isn't a Satanist at all. He's actually an atheist. He's just figured out that the publicity generated by stunts like this coming from a satanic group generates a lot of mainstream press coverage. And by threatening legal action against state and local governments, as in the case of the statue of Baphomet that the Satanic Temple tried to get installed on the Capitol grounds in Oklahoma City, they can compel government to instead push even the form of Christianity out of the public square, as when the Oklahoma legislature decided to get rid of the monument to the Ten Commandments instead of adding to the state capitol the statue dedicated to Satan. The lesson here is that we Christians can't depend on the law or the Constitution to defend the faith. In a free society, our rights guaranteed by the Constitution will also guarantee the rights of groups like the Satanic Temple to protect their right to practice whatever faith they choose to practice. There are only two ways to prevent this type of thing, the Satanic Temple pushing its views into our schools. One is to take over the government, which may sound like a tempting idea, but Jesus never commanded us to do so. And secondly, bad things happen when you marry the church, the body of Christ, to the government. Just look at history, the history of the Roman Catholic Church, for example, or for us Americans, the history of our own nation and the fact that our founding fathers, many of them, had come to the country because the King of England was also the head of the Church of England, the official state religion. And under a system like that, disagreeing with the king over politics is heresy, and disagreeing with the king over religion is treason. See, it doesn't make government better, it corrupts the gospel. Now, the other way to prevent things like this is to actually fulfill the Great Commission and preach the gospel, make disciples, so that this bad seed can find no fertile soil. In other news, North Korea tested another missile earlier today, a ballistic missile launched from the western part of North Korea into the ocean east of the nation. This in contravention, of course, of United Nations sanctions on North Korea. Seems like every time we don't pay enough attention to him, Kim starts bouncing up and down like an app in the dock of your Mac laptop, begging for attention. On to government here in the U.S., Congress has tasked the Defense Department with Mission Impossible, apparently. That is getting the Pentagon's books in order for an audit by next September. A Department of Defense Inspector General's report last week shows why this might be an impossible task. The Defense Finance and Accounting Service could not provide adequate documentation for $6.5 trillion spent. Those are adjustments to the final books from the Army's general fund because they can't balance the books any other way. According to the IG's report, tens of thousands of documents are missing, making an accurate audit impossible. This is a problem that not only violates federal law, it's been ongoing for more than 20 years. But maybe some of the money's in Tehran. The Wall Street Journal reports that the Obama administration arranged for a secret cargo flight back in January, an unmarked plane carrying pallet loads of cash, $400 million worth of euros, Swiss francs, and other currencies. The shipment coincided with the release of 4 prisoners who'd been held by the Iranian government, 4 Americans. This was the first installment, the $400 million, of a $1.7 billion settlement reached with Iran over an arms deal that was suspended in 1979, just before the Shah of Iran was overthrown by the revolution. The State Department says, though, this was not a quid pro quo. We didn't pay ransom. even though that's how some senior Iranian defense officials are categorizing the payment. And since that payment in January, the government in Tehran has arrested 2 more Iranian Americans. At the going rate of exchange, that's worth about $850 million. And as long as we're throwing around big numbers, another big insurance company has come forward to report that it's losing big money on Obamacare. Aetna says it expects its losses this year to be more than $300 million, and it's scrapping plans to expand its Obamacare business next year. And like the biggest health insurer in the U.S., United Healthcare, it's reviewing how or whether it will continue providing coverage in the 15 states it's in. Other insurers like Anthem and Humana have already announced that they're losing money on the Obamacare exchanges in 2016. Analysts say the problem is that people who signed up are running up more medical expenses than they figured. Gee, I wonder why that is. You give people essentially a blank check and they write in big numbers. One insurance professional told me personally that Obamacare has been helpful to some people. People who were previously uninsured can now get coverage at very reasonable rates. The problem is that it's happening at the expense of the middle class, many of whom are now uninsured because the premiums and deductibles are so high that it doesn't make sense to carry health insurance any longer. And this is more evidence that our elected representatives see the donor class as their constituents rather than, voters like you and me. On Friday, President Obama signed Senate Bill 764 into law, the so-called DARK Act. DARK, an acronym for Denying Americans the Right to Know. The bill purportedly establishes federal labeling on food packaging, including a mandatory standard for bioengineered food, GMO foods. But what it actually does is ban state food labeling requirements for GMO foods and replaces it with a federal standard that allows food makers to disclose bioengineered food by putting a QR code on the packaging. That's that funky little square that you have to scan with your smartphone to get the information, or a 1-800 number that you can call. That instead of just putting on the label that, yes, this package, this food product contains genetically modified ingredients. The Department of Agriculture has 3 years to come up with these new standards, and we'll see what direction it goes. But consumer advocates are not happy about this law. War with Russia could be on the horizon. That's according to a former NATO general who writes in his new book, 2017 War with Russia, a novel that keeping Vladimir Putin contained is the main challenge of NATO and the West. Sir Richard Shirreff, General Sir Richard Shirreff, retired in 2014 as NATO's Deputy Supreme Commander. And again, he says that he can't overstate the urgency of containing Vladimir Putin. Now, with all due respect to the general and his years of service, as an American, I honestly don't see the national interest in the United States going to war with Russia and risking nuclear war in order to keep Ukraine, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia out of Russian control. I mean, as an American, I don't want to see them controlled by anyone except themselves. But frankly, if it comes down to it, should America risk nuclear war to keep Estonia free? Really? Well, the only ones who really profit from this kind of an approach are those who sell the tools of war to the military-industrial complex. And quite honestly, NATO's recent deployment of 4 battalions to Eastern Europe, Poland, and the Baltic states is a provocative move, as was switching on the American missile shield in Romania and Poland. I mean, think back to the Kennedy administration and the Cuban Missile Crisis, when nuclear missiles showed up in Cuba, 90 miles off the coast of Florida. How did America respond? Now, should we really expect Russia to respond any differently to American missiles essentially within striking distance of their capital? And speaking of wars and rumors of war, Hillary Clinton's advisors are already making it known that they want direct U.S. intervention, military intervention in Syria against the Assad regime. A think tank run by Michelle Flournoy, who is considered a top candidate to be Secretary of Defense if Hillary Clinton is elected president, has explicitly called for limited military strikes against the Assad regime. Now, considering that Russian forces are still in Syria supporting the Assad regime, this is crazy. Again, what national interest does the United States have in Syria? That we would risk a nuclear war with Russia, a direct shooting war with Russia, to take out Bashar al-Assad. This is why leading neocons, leading lights in the Republican Party for the last 25 years are abandoning the Republican Party and announcing their support for Hillary Clinton. It's not because they think Donald Trump is incompetent or a buffoon. It's because his America First platform threatens their ongoing war. And they know they can trust Hillary Clinton based on her track record during the Bill Clinton administration and her time as Secretary of State. They can trust her to keep these wars going because, as the famed U.S. Marine Corps General Smedley Butler wrote, war is a racket, and right now, business is good. It's almost like America is Rome, and we've just about reached the point of Caesar Augustus. We're not quite there yet, but we're almost there. I mean, study Roman history. You'll find that the Roman senators, guys with concessions for like the spice trade, were coming up with reasons to invade Pontus or Parthia in order to generate more business. And as I mentioned yesterday, by the way, while the Democrats are trying to link Vladimir Putin to Donald Trump, I mean, the implication being that Trump is a puppet of the Kremlin, if either of the candidates running for president, either the major party candidates, I should say, is a puppet of Vladimir Putin, it's Hillary Clinton. Now, I gave one reason why yesterday, but our friend John Haller at Fellowship Bible Chapel in Columbus, Ohio, in his weekly prophecy news update that he delivers at church, actually put it more succinctly and forcefully than I could.
Listen, folks, the New York Times a year ago had an article about the fact that the Clinton Foundation took millions of dollars in donations from people associated with uranium companies. 20% of the United States uranium was sold to Russia with the approval of Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State. So stop this nonsense about Donald Trump making a sarcastic comment. I could care less. This lady has committed treason against the United States. She is a liar, and she is not fit to run for public office. But vote your conscience, okay?
You should check out his weekly prophecy update on YouTube. He basically does once a week on Sunday mornings what we do here on SkyWatchTV, Monday through Friday. Now, the irony of all this belligerence with Russia is that the parade uniform that the American athletes are going to wear at the Olympics in Rio de Janeiro look just like a Russian flag. I mean, these parade uniforms were designed by Ralph Lauren, but when they button the blazer and then you stand an athlete next to a Russian flag, coincidence? Finally, this is the Pokemon, I didn't say it right, the Pokemonument. Yes, the Pokemonument that we've all been waiting for. This statue of the Pokemon Pikachu showed up at a park in New Orleans on Sunday. It's made of fiberglass, but painted to look like bronze. No one's quite sure yet who put the thing up, but apparently there was a lot of thought that went into it because it fit perfectly onto a spot where a fountain used to sit. And in Phoenix, a young married couple there ran afoul of the law because of Pokemon Go. Police there say Brent and Brianna Daly left their 2-year-old son home alone so they could go out and chase Pokemon in nearby neighborhoods. Well, a neighbor called 911 after he saw the boy wander outside the house and kept wandering and crying for his parents in 96-degree heat, by the way. Deputies arrived at the scene, contacted Brent Daly to say they'd found his boy abandoned outside, and according to police, Daly allegedly replied, "Whatever," and hung up. Daly and his wife were arrested upon arrival home. They've been charged with child endangerment. A couple of big announcements. We've been remiss in not getting this word to you sooner here at SkyWatch TV. The Telly Award documentary, produced by SkyWatch TV and Defender Films, is now available for streaming at Amazon.com. It's in the collection Amazon Videos. It's actually available in two parts because the video is rather long. It's almost a 3-hour film, but it's available for free if you are an Amazon Prime subscriber. You pay the annual membership fee to belong to Amazon Prime. You can watch it at no charge. Stream it to your television if you've got the Amazon Prime channel on Roku, or stream it to your laptop or smartphone, tablet. You can buy the movie for $9.99 for each part, or you can rent them. If you're not an Amazon Prime member, buy each part for $9.99 and rent it for 7 days for $2.99 each. But here's the thing. Watching it through Amazon, you get to watch it in full HD. That's 1,920 pixels by 1,080 pixels, whereas a DVD is only 720 by 480. I didn't even know this until we had to make a DVD. DVDs are not HD. Who knew? So you'll find that at Amazon.com, as well as a number of the best SkyWatch TV programs over the last year and a half, also available at Amazon Video. Check it out, Amazon.com. And again, if you're a member of Amazon Prime, you can watch them, stream them at no charge. And Defender Publishing. Many of you have been asking, are we going to make digital versions of the books published by Defender Publishing? And the answer is yes, that has happened. These are ebooks available for the Amazon Kindle or the Barnes & Noble Nook reading app. Books including the new one by Tom Horn and Chris Putnam, The Final Roman Emperor, as well as the previous 3 books in this series, Petrus Romanus, Exo Vaticana, and On the Path of the Immortals, all available for the Kindle and the Nook. Other new releases from Defender Publishing, like I Predict What 12 Global Experts Believe You Will See by 2025, When Once We Were a Nation, Dead Pets Don't Lie by Joe Artis and Donna Howell, Never Submit by Lieutenant Colonel Bob McGinnis. Those and many other titles from Defender Publishing available now as ebooks for the Kindle and the Nook, and you'll find those at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. This week on SkyWatch TV, a book that we recommend is the center of the topic of discussion. That is The Unseen Realm by Dr. Michael Heiser. He joined us to talk about the Genesis 6 giants and why it's important for us as Christians to understand that the first 4 verses of Genesis chapter 6 should be taken at their plain reading. The Nephilim were the product of unions between angels and human women. You'll see that program later today on the Cornerstone Network, Coast to Coast. That's at 2:30 p.m. Central Time. Tonight, Coast to Coast on the World Harvest Television. That's DirecTV Channel 367. And you'll see that at 6 p.m. following the Jim Baker Show. And then tonight, WLLA-TV in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And if you miss it tonight, you can see it again Saturday on the Victory Television Network down in Arkansas and around Memphis, and in the Tampa-St. Pete area on WCLF Television. And of course, the program is available now on the SkyWatch TV channel on Roku. And of course, we offer web-exclusive content at SkyWatchTV.com, including another interview with Dr. Heiser, Joshua's Holy War Against the Giants. Why did God tell Joshua and the Israelites to utterly destroy certain groups of people? Mike explains the concept of karem, or devoted to destruction. That's a web exclusive from SkyWatch TV, available only at SkyWatchTV.com and the SkyWatch TV channel on Roku. During the month of August, our thank you gift for your gift of $20 or more, a couple of books to add to your reference library: Powerful Moments in the Presence of God by Lorraine Marie Varela, and A Place at the Table, 40 Days of Solidarity with the Poor by Chris Say. We'll send those to you at no charge for your gift of $20 or more, U.S. and Canada residents only, please. For more information and to donate, log on to skywatchtv.com/donate. And of course, your mouse finger helps us out. Just clicking like, share, and subscribe gets the word out there. And you'll find my stuff on the web here: website, Twitter, Facebook page, and my YouTube channel, where tonight we post 2 more interviews from the Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference, audio versions. The video versions are waiting for the DVD set from the conference, which is coming up in October. And we'll tell you about the deal you can get by pre-ordering that DVD set here in just a couple of minutes. But you'll find that tonight, Aaron Lipkin and Avi Lipkin, the conversations I had with them out in Colorado Springs, that posted to my YouTube channel there. And your comments, questions, suggestions, always welcome at dgilbert@skywatchtv.com. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is SkyWatch TV. SkyWatch TV can help you break through the barriers of space and time and get a valuable reference library at the same time. Here's what I mean. Maybe you weren't able to attend the Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference in July. That's a problem of space. Or maybe you were at the conference, but you had to choose. You could only watch one presentation at a time. No way to see all 53 presentations in real time. That's a problem of space and time. But thanks to modern digital technology, those barriers mean nothing. We can take you from your living room in the future to Colorado Springs in the past to watch all 53 presentations, many of which were recorded at the same time. And that's not even including more than 24 one-on-one interviews with all the speakers who were present. When you pre-purchase the complete DVD set from the Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference from SkyWatch TV, you'll get all 53 presentations recorded live, plus the 24 one-on-one interviews, and we will add the 5-volume Researcher's Library of Ancient Text. That alone is a $150 value. Your cost, $149.95 plus shipping and handling. This is a limited time offer. Your opportunity to travel from your living room in the future to Colorado Springs in the past and watch all 54 presentations from the Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference without ever leaving your comfy chair. Time and space, no problem for SkyWatch TV. Order now by calling 844-750-4985 or log on to skywatchtvstore.com.